Okay, welcome back to Mentoring Matters. I am your host, hopefully mentor, supporter, and friend of sorts, Kate Corinne. Um, this is a little more spaced out than I planned on it being because if you saw the last two videos, you know I planned on kicking out that series back to back, but it's just been so much going on. But the goal was to have all four videos posted prior to my birthday, which is still 2 days from now. And you know what's crazy? I kept saying I was gonna post this channel once I got up to um 30 videos. So once I do this video, cut the camera off, cut it back on, do the last video, that'll be my 30. And I am so apprehensive about sharing this link and promoting this channel. I don't know why. At first, I thought it was just because I wanted enough material because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it daily. I just don't have something to say daily, and I didn't want to post a link and then have people on the edge of their seats waiting on me to say something. Not that I'm that important, but you know what I mean. Um, so 30 is cool because how many people are gonna go back and watch all 30 videos and then be looking for me? I have some time. So even if I only post once a week or whatever, I think this channel could sustain itself that way. Um, but yeah, now here I am at the end and I'm like nervous. I'm not sure why. Not sure why. So, anywho, we are on we ended the last video with self-love comes with self-accountability. So that is number 21. Number 22, your tribe will find you. Um this one became true for me within like the last year or two, honestly, and I'm 39 years and 363 days old. Um if you are authentic and committed to being yourself, but the best version of said self, working on your imperfections, but still showing up as the genuine you. Eventually, people who appreciate you as you are, people who love you, people who find you funny, people who find you enjoyable to be around, people who value you will start to gravitate towards you. And you'll feel the same way about them. Let me say that. Because it could have been that people have always been gravitating towards you, but not I don't even want to say type of people, just not the people that were meant to go on this life's journey with you. Maybe they were, I go old school with it, in your life for a reason and not a season. No, a season and not a reason. Whatever. But do know that if you feel loneliness is part of the human journey. We were created to be in community. So therefore we feel lonely when we spend long stretches of time outside of community. But it's just also part of the journey. You can't be so obsessed with being intertwined with others, even if you're extroverted, that you force friendships because that will lead you into being disingenuous, people pleasing, uneven friendships, short term friendships. There's just so much that could go wrong from not waiting your turn to really meet your people. Again, I've had the same best friend since eighth grade, but that's one person. I never really had, and I have had it in stints. In eighth grade, I was in a clique. On the block I grew up on, I was in a clique. In high school, so there has been times in my life where I was part of, a friendship group. But I haven't had anything like that since I was young. And so now it's like presented itself, that opportunity, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. I am okay being solo, maybe more than the average person, though I don't know what average is. Um, but just let your tribe find you. Just keep creating the most authentic, love filled, gratitude filled, purpose driven life. And the right people will show up. Whether it's at work, whether it's through your significant other, their friends and family, maybe come yours as well. Could be You move someplace and your neighbors are cool as hell and you all connect. So many different options. So just stay open and don't rush it. Your tribe will find you. That's 22. 23, we never actually stop evolving, and this just continuing to work on yourself, knowing you'll never be finished working on yourself. Now, for some people, that's exciting. For other people, it's daunting. Like, when is the work over? Like, when I retire from employment, can I also retire from working on myself? Um, you could, but you still be evolving, just not for your betterment. Because evolution theoretically is things getting better, more adaptable. Um, but evolution can be used in other ways because you can also devolve. If you go to prison, you essentially are devolving because now you have to handle problems in ways that we no longer do as a society. If you've ever known someone who spent a long time or often deals with incarceration, you'll notice that their logic, their problem solving skills, you're like, whoa, you can't do that. But they're like, why can't I? Because what worked in that space doesn't work in this space. So maybe I shouldn't say you can evolve for the worse, but you can devolve if you're not conscientious about evolving. Like, what's that? There's that saying that no action is an action. When you don't have intentionality, you still making decisions. That's inevitable. You're a human being, you're living. But just the quality of those decisions will start to decrease. So commit to the lifelong journey of being intentional about your evolution because you're going to evolve or devolve as long as you're alive. So you might as well make sure it's the former. Okay. 24. Everyone has been delusional and will be delusional again. Delusion is nuanced because sometimes it takes heavy levels of delusion to fulfill a dream. You set your sights really high on this goal that statistically you shouldn't reach, that logically you shouldn't reach, and then you do it. How many stories have we heard of when everything went wrong, when everybody turned their back on me, when nobody would support me? That's when I got a breakthrough in my business. That's when I went viral. So, you're it's okay to be delusionally positive about something that you deem worth it. Number one. Number two, the negative types of delusion are also part of life. You've been delusional in the past, you'll be delusional in the future. It's just part of it. It's just managing that delusion with having realistic expectations, with continuing to learn the lessons that you've learned, continuing to apply the lessons that you've learned. So the Lulu is negative in some ways, but delusion can be managed like anything else. And there's levels of acceptable delusion, and then there's delusion that brings you great rewards because you had to take a great risk, but you were able to take that huge risk because you were kind of dealing with that delusion. It was a 12% chance it was going to work, and you believe with all your heart that it was 100%, that it could be 100%, and that delusion led to success. So there's no point in trying to completely rid yourself of delusion. You'll become pessimistic, negative, fault finding, severely critical. It's okay to be a little whimsical. That's how I equate a lot of delusion. Now, of course, take that with a grain of salt because sometimes being delusional can be very harmful to you. It depends on the what, the when, the how, the why, like all those factors. But I just don't want you all to have these unrealistic expectations like delusion never happens in the life of a happy, healthy, evolving human being because it does. I won't say often, but definitely annually. All right. 25. Humans need hobbies. We need things that we derive enjoyment, pleasure, and satisfaction from. We need it. So take the time to learn what you're into. For me, it's skating, it's hiking. So those are like my and cycling. Um, so yeah, me and my man and my kids, we ride bikes. I like to skate. My kids like to skate, and I go hiking. So those are like the three physical ones. But I also am an indoor gardener. I have a lot of plants, and they are flourishing. I derive satisfaction from that. I also read, mostly fiction because I am in graduate school being forced to read some heavy academic materials. So when I am on a break or I have an opportunity to read, I'm probably going to read something fictional, something light. I love stories. And I am a writer. And so I derive that deep exhale, that deep release from completing the work. Could just be a poem, short story, or whatever. And so you need those options because I can't always go hiking, right? It's 2 degrees outside here in Chicago, -2 actually. I can't always cycle. The skating rink is not always open, so I have both outdoor options, indoor options, meaning the skating rink is out of my house but indoors someplace. And then I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in my house. What can I do in this space that's going to bring me peace? That's not scrolling on the internet. And so those are my three. I'm going to mess with my plants, maybe buy some more plants, plant pots and things online. And if I don't want to spend any money, I'm going to walk around. I'm going to talk to my plants. I'm going to mist them. Yes, I love it. I'm going to mist them with my little water bottle because I don't want to overwater. Um, and I dance. And me and my man, we dance in the house, be in the basement dancing for hours like we at a club. So if I can't not leave my house, I can garden indoor, I can read, I can write, I can dance. Just to name a few. So make sure that you have, 6 or 7 things that you enjoy doing that can pull you out of a rut when you're in a bad mood. But forget the bad mood, that you are consistently enriching your life and moving about with the highest vibration possible. And I'm not overly spiritual, a person that doesn't believe in God, believes in the universe and crystals and vibrations, and I'm not one of them. But there is living knowledge in so many things. And so you'll always hear me taking pieces from different schools of thought because I think that everything has something that we can benefit from. Okay, so, okay, 26. Never get mad at the old you, just welcome the update, right? Because, for some reason, I feel like I said this on a different one or something similar. I know I keep shaking this thing, putting my hand on like my little tray here. I don't remember if I said that, but so I'll make it brief in case I did say it. Um, the new you does not exist without the old you. Everything that has ever happened to you has led you to who you are in this moment. So as you begin to evolve, you're going to look back like, I can't believe I did that. That was so petty. That was so stupid. That was so not well researched. That was so reactionary. That was so reckless. Um, yeah, so that's a kudos. Like, yes, I'm growing. I'm looking back at things I used to do and analyzing how I would handle that in the future and applying all this new knowledge. But in the midst of things, you can get a little, I can't believe I was ever like that. You can get a little snobby with you. You love you. You don't just love the current you and the future you love the you that you were. Because the you that you were, you're standing on those shoulders to become the current you. And so on and so forth. So I don't know if I would consider that shame, but just as you grow, don't get caught up in who you used to be and comparing the two. It just doesn't bring you any good, and it can rob you from the inherent joy of constantly becoming better. Okay. All right. 27. Discipline brings satisfaction. When you don't get the cheese fries and you get the salad, you feel good afterwards. When you now I believe in taking a mental health day, but when you're just feeling lazy and don't want to go to work, and then you push yourself and you go to work and you kill it. You getting your projects done, and you having enriching conversations about the work or about anything else. But you're like, man, I'm glad I got my butt up and came to work. I need that PTO for a vacation I'm planning. Like, nah, I don't want to take that recklessly. There's satisfaction in that. There's always going to be satisfaction in being disciplined, in not getting the immediate gratification of your first feeling or first thought. Being like, I said I didn't really feel like working out today, but let me go and do like 20 minutes on my bike. Let me just get something done. There's satisfaction even in that discipline, like pushing yourself. Listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to your spirit, yes. But also not trying to set up the most comfortable life possible, because comfort does not breed ingenuity or growth. You want to be comfortable. Like, okay, my bills is paid. I'm warm in the wintertime. I could cut my heat up as much as I need to. I have enough clothes. Sure, that comfort. But you don't want to get comfortable and complacent by always listening to your flesh and never feeling the joy of discipline, of grinding it out. It feels great when I get a paper done, not even weeks, 2 days before it was due. The discipline to pick up my pace and to commit more time to it every day or on the days that I'm doing it, so that I don't have to cut it all the way down to the wire and be hitting that button at midnight. There is satisfaction in that discipline and prioritizing the things that we know need to be prioritized. It's no mysteries. We know what really needs our attention. We know what we need to be doing. That's why I'm so against like more and more and more and more and more new information in the health and fitness space. There is no new information. You need less calories coming in than you need to lose weight. You need the equal amount of calories to maintain weight, and if you take in more calories than you need, you will gain weight. That's it. That's it. That is the science. So you eat less and make healthier decisions. Meanwhile, upping your physical activity to create that gap, which is also called a deficit, to lose weight. There are no mysteries. It's just a matter of doing the work. There's not enough fitness plans in the world. Now, if you're looking for a fitness plan, just to find something that you like a little bit more. Maybe I'm old school. I like Zumba. Maybe I like Pilates. Yes, that journey, yes. But the new diet coming out every week, stop it. Like the new pills, stop it. The new secret weapon, I think that was like shapewear. And shapewear is cool for people not being able to see through your clothes, but it's not a it's not a weight loss kind of thing. So apply what you learned. And I don't know if that's originally what I was saying there. No, but what I was saying is that discipline to just do the right thing, it brings satisfaction in the long run. All right, 28. Anxiety is often a notification that something is wrong. Now, only you know if you really do battle clinical anxiety and depression. If that is the case, do not listen to me because I am not a therapist. But in my life, anytime my stomach was just bubbling, my heart was just racing, my mind was all over the place, it's because something wasn't right. Literally, those were the triggers for me to see something is going the wrong way. It could be a risk that I should not be taking. It could be a space I should not be in. It could be numerous things, but the key wasn't for me to resolve the anxiety by journaling or, no. The goal was, what is it that's happening that's giving me this feeling, and how do I pivot? Because I know I'm not having this feeling for no reason, but that also comes along with that self trust. Once you thought something was a way and it was that way, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 20 times, I had a feeling about this. I felt it in my stomach. And instead of changing what was taking place or being active, proactive, I started journaling and pulling on my stress ball to get rid of just the feeling. Like, no, I need to get rid of the problem. Unless you have been clinically diagnosed with some type of depression or anxiety disorder, or you suspect that you have one, in which case you need to make an appointment. But if you know that that's not the case, pay attention to that anxiety. Listen to what it's telling you and make a different decision if you have the space to do so. Because that's really what people are calling anxiety. That's our gut. You're supposed to listen to your gut. That's why it's there. Okay? Your figurative gut, not your fupa. Okay? So that was 28. 29. Embrace how God made you inside and out. Now this one, the other day my boo was telling me what he loves about me. And he said, yeah, because I never really wanted a girly girl. And I'm all like, now I'm starting to disassociate during the conversation because I'm thinking, I always want to be a girly girl. Like always. Like I would see really prissy girls and be like, I want to be like them. I just didn't have the setup. My mom is not super prissy. Neither is my grandmother. My father's mother was not. My paternal grandmother, she's been gone since I was a teenager, but no, she never played with nobody. So, and then when I was growing up, a lot of girls start coming into the family after me. But I was like, and I got a cousin named Keisha. Keisha was a girl, and she was over there because we wasn't growing up exactly side by side. And then there was me. And so my primary time was spent with my cousin JC, with my cousin Chris, with my cousin Sherrod, with my cousin Phil, and then with my uncles. My Uncle Fats, my Uncle Bobby, my Uncle Sam. Um, on my dad's side, I have aunts and, well, mostly great aunts. But I naturally grew up spending more time with my mom's side post my parents' divorce. And I'm with my uncles and I'm with my male cousins largely. And then my mom is, she don't play. You know what I mean? And so I thought that because I'm clean, I think I dress cute. Well, my boo says I have like OCD, but I I cook, I clean, I keep a nice home. I'm a nurturer. I have 3 daughters, no sons, and I'm friendly, and so there are these things about me that I'm like, it's giving girly girl. No. It's not. It's just not how I am. Like, I don't even have a light voice. Like some women, they just sound so dainty. I feel like I'm always raspy and I don't smoke. So it took a long time. It took a long time. Like, my birthday's in 2 days. I got my eyebrows arched, and I'm gonna attempt some lashes, and that's it. I'm not getting a beat face or nothing else because it's not me. At an eventual point in your life, you have to just be comfortable with how God made you and how your circumstances have created you. So I'm more of a tomboy. I can accept that. Now, after all these years, I'm not gonna even become something I'm not, even for my birthday, even for a special occasion. I want to be comfortable in the skin that I'm in. And the part about how God raised me is I'm a thicker girl. Always have been. Always have been. Like, going all the way back to second, third, fourth grade. And I don't overeat. I'm active. But I grew up seeing my mom like that. Like, my mom made home cooked meals. We didn't eat a bunch of fast food. We didn't eat a bunch of fried food. I remember the first time somebody had that blue can with the lard in it. I forget what it's called. I had never seen that in my life. Like, I didn't grow up like that. So my mom gave us balanced, healthy meals. She always worked out. She always was a skater and a dancer and an active mom. I remember one time she ran and did a cartwheel, but we was in the trenches, and then it cut her whole hand open. But she was just, always playful and fun. And my mom is a thickums. My mom is a BBW. Has been my whole life. So I grew up seeing that. Like, okay, there's a body type. There's a genetic piece to this puzzle. It's not just about eating right. It's not just about being active. Because I'm watching my mom. And my mom didn't even start drinking until I was grown. So we're talking about eating clean. She never smoked. The most she drank was like the occasional wine cooler. Clean lifestyle. Active person. Always super thick. Always super thick. So I'm not as thick as my mom because I've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at being conscientious since I was young and watching her. Um, but at what point does that have to be okay? Everybody can't be petite. You know what I'm saying? Everybody cannot, be thin, and there are reasons that we work out and eat right that have nothing to do with the aesthetics. I call them non-scale victories. Like, I'm flexible. I look good. I'm active. My left knee bothers me when it's really cold out. But other than that, I'm in great shape, so, like, just in terms of my endurance, and what I'm able to still do at this age, regardless of the fact that my hips and thighs are sizable. Which, if you don't know me personally, you may not know from these type of videos, but I wear a 12, and have been wearing a 12 since I was about 12, and I'm about to be 40. So that's on the thicker side. And recently I had to buy me a 13. Like, ooh, come on now. But being okay, not being as prissy as I wanted to be, being okay, not being as thin as I wanted to be. And I'm not sure what this lighting is giving, but I'm a chocolate girl. And now it's a little bit more like, ooh, for some, But for a long time, I was upset at how dark I was, got teased about it a lot. So, really coming full circle with being okay with everything that makes you in and out is a game changer. And I think that women struggle with it more than men. Men have a tendency to just be like, hey, it is what it is. And then they work to compensate for that in other ways, which I don't think women typically do. Um, and I won't make any comments about that. But, man, until you're comfortable in your own skin, looking how you look, sounding like you sound, walking like you walk, talking like you talk, there'll always be a foothold for Satan, for something dark to come into your life and play on those insecurities of who you wish you were. Get with loving you. unadulteratedly. And that's gonna skim back on a lot of the BS that can otherwise occur when you don't know who you are. I think that's my last one for this video. What was that? No, that was 29. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to stop it there. And then I'll do 30 through 40 on the final video in this series, 40 lessons over 40 years. It's Mentor Matters, and thank you for tuning in.